Oh my god, it's freaking cold out here, guys. But we're out here. I'm out here with the dad crew. Ish with Fish and June from More Than Fishing. We're out here on the kayak today. We're trying to do a little bit of crabbing, a little bit of fishing. I'm trying a new area that I've never been to. These guys are nice enough to take me out here. And I'm looking for crab first things first. I got all 3 of my pots. I'm gonna drop them around like 50 to 60 feet of water probably. Looking for a little sandy area to kind of find those Dungeness crab. Like I said, never been here before, but I'm optimistic we're gonna catch something. So we're gonna drop them all down and start fishing. Yeah, let's get it going. All right, first one going down. All right, what's you? All right, number 3, going down. All right, ready to start fishing. Before we start fishing, I want to thank Mystery Tackle Box for sponsoring this video. Usually I've been doing a lot of Mystery Tackle Box slams. Pretty common. You've seen them on YouTube. I'm sure you've seen 1,000 of them. But they have this new line of SaltNative baits. There's all kinds of different stuff, poppers, jerk baits, you know, cast masters, all that kind of thing. But I'm going to try out a couple of these today. I don't know if I'm going to get to this one, but there's some swim baits like that. Definitely good for like rockfish, probably lingcod, cabezon, stuff like that. They also have these bucktail jigs. Now these are what I'm going to focus on, at least at first, because I think this is a good spot for some rockfish. We've gone over a couple little pinnacles here. There's got to be some rockfish, whether it's lingcod, actual rockfish like blue rockfish, brown rockfish, whatever, or even a cabezon. Now I've heard, like I said, I'm fishing with Ish with Fish in June. I've heard that there's some good cabezon here, so that's what I'm hoping to catch with one of these. I haven't got one in a while. So if you go on the Shop Carl's website, they're having a lot of sales right now actually for the Black Friday and stuff like that. But this is the 2-ounce bucktail jig. I think they have maybe 1 ounce, 1.5, and 2, something like that. I would go with the 2 ounce if you're fishing it here on the West Coast, because we're fishing a little deeper, so a little bit more weight will help get it down there a little bit easier. We're actually fishing pretty shallow. I don't normally fish this shallow for rockfish, but cabezon are usually in a little bit shallower than your lingcod or other rockfish. So I'm hopeful that there's some in here. So all I'm going to do is just tie this directly on here, no weight. Let the weight of the bucktail take it down to the bottom and hope for the best. Like I said, the heavier one will help you get down a little bit deeper than your 1 ounce or your 2 or your 1.5 ounce. Like I said, this is a 2 ounce. Ooh, actually, you know what? Got a little fray right there. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm gonna cut that off because that's a weak spot right there. All right, there you go. We'll drop that down. All we're gonna do is drop it down, jig it up and down off the bottom, and ideally a rockfish should come up and grab it. First I want to check my drag. Feels pretty good. There we go. Yeah, there's definitely some rocks here. This is just like your typical vertical jigging. Just up and down, bouncing it up and down off those rocks. Alright guys, the swim bait bites, or the bucktail jig by itself wasn't working for me. I tried it for maybe half an hour, no bites. So I'm gonna add a little bit of flair. So we're still using the bucktail jig, but we're almost using it as kind of like a lead head. And I'm gonna put this is the Skelly Swim. I think this is the electric chicken color. I'm just gonna thread this right on top of the hair jig. Just like that. That's going to give it a little more action under the water. See if that makes any difference. Oh, I'm marking some fish right here actually. Oh, there we go. No, snag. Oh. Oh, there's a fish on here. Not a snag. Oh, this might be a good one. I think I got one and it pulled me into a rock, I think is what happened. There we go. Yeah, there's fish on here. I think he pulled me into a rock. Cabby, this is what I was here for. First cabezon. Look at that. On the bucktail. Really, really nice colors on this fish. Unfortunately, this is just a little guy. These have to be 15 inches in order to keep. But that's our first one. That's kind of what I was looking for. Like I said, there's a lot of different rockfish out here, but this particular area supposedly good for cabezon, so this is kind of what I was looking for. This might be close to 15, but I'm gonna let this one go. Just a little guy, but really nice colors. I mean, look at, you can see all the like browns, and sometimes these can get that blue color like you see on some lingcod. This one doesn't look like it has the blue, but it has the browns, almost red and yellow. Really cool. And they call it cabezon because they have such a big head here, and this is what they use to crunch like really, really hard things like crabs. They even eat like abalone or limpets right off the rocks, and they crunch them with this big, they have a really big like crusher in the back of their throat, which you might have been able to hear earlier. Doesn't sound like he's doing it anymore, but they crush those things with those big, like almost like rocks in the back of their throat. Really big fins too, because they sit right on top of the rocks, almost camouflage. So actually, now that I think about it, this is probably what the bottom looks like. There's probably all this like brownish kelp on the rocks, which is why he's this color. So anyway, that's what we're looking for, but that's just a little one, so we'll let him go. Super clear water here too. You can see him go all the way down. So that's where that fish hit right there. The chartreuse bucktail 2 ounce with the electric chicken skelly. So I'm just basically a little swim bait on there to give it a little more action. So what happened on that one is I think he bit it. I hooked him and he went immediately under a rock or in between a rock to hang me up. So it felt like I was snagged, but then when I gave him a little bit of slack, that's when he kind of swam out of that little spot and I was able to get him out. So if you, oh, no, that's a rock. So sometimes if you give them a little slack, if there is a fish on there, there's always a fish on when you have the snag, but if you have a fish on and a snag, you give them a little slack, they'll swim out of that rock that they're under, and that'll kind of help. But yeah, let's see if we can get another one here. There we go. There's one. Small one. Something small. Look at how clear this water is though. You can see them really well here. Alright. Well, species number 2. Nice little, this is a blue rockfish. Nice little one there. You could keep this, make a couple of nice fish tacos, but I'm going to let him go. Oh, fish on. Again, I think it pulled me into a rock. What is it this time? Doesn't feel huge. Oh my gosh. How did he eat this thing? There we go. Another rockfish. Third fish of the day, third species. This is a little, I think this is a black and yellow rockfish. Pretty sure. Took the swim bait. I actually changed it up a little bit. I'll show you in a second. So I can get this guy unhooked. All right, there we go. Nice little black and yellow rockfish. Also, you could keep this one, but I'm gonna let it go as well. So I changed it up a little bit just to try and switch things up, see if it works any better. But I put a little white swim bait that's actually a Guggen swim bait. Guggen, I think it's called a Saucy Swimmer. A little bit bigger, and it's a white swim bait. So now I have white and chartreuse on there, and it worked for that one. All right, well, we threw this around for a little while. I might toss it on the way in, but the time has come now for me to go check my crab pots. Go see how the crabbing is at. Like I said, I've never crabbed before in this area, so I'm kind of interested to see how they fare. Ish and June both also dropped one pot each. So I have 3, so I better catch a few crab, otherwise it's gonna be a little bit embarrassing for me. No, I'm just kidding, but I do want to see if there's any crab here. I'm interested to see. I think we dropped them in a sandy area. There is a lot of rock also, so I wouldn't be surprised if there was a lot of rock crab in there, but I'm hoping, crossing my fingers, that maybe there's a few Dungeness as well. All right guys, good practice. You ever see a plastic bag when you're out here? Pick it up. It's also good karma. All right, here goes nothing. I don't know. Feels kind of light. So we dropped them down about 2 hours ago, maybe a little bit less, or actually no, about 3 hours ago, maybe a little less, but usually long enough for a few to crawl in there. Uh-oh. Oh, there's a Dungeness in there. A Dungie, not a Dungeness. Okay, so one Dungeness. And this is a female Dungeness, you can tell because of the apron right here. But in California, we can keep male or female Dungeness crab as long as they're 5 3/4 across the back. And this one's definitely a keeper. And also, this rock crab's also a keeper. These need to be 4 inches across the back. That's a red rock crab. Really good eating. Some people say they're a little bit sweeter. I think I kind of agree with them. There is less meat. If you can see the legs, they're pretty small. But the claws definitely have meat. And there's some meat in the shoulders as well. So 2 keepers in the box. Now let's go see what our other pots have. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, I think my second one is snagged.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think the rope might have wrapped around something.
Here, why don't you work on your other, or your last one, and I'll go over there and see if I can clean it up.
Okay, sounds good. All right, well, this one, I don't know, I think it might have got stuck on some rocks, unfortunately. This is kind of the risk you run when you're crabbing in a new area. So we'll leave that one. Ish said he's gonna try and get it out. Hopefully our third one isn't stuck as well. Yeah. Oh, so far so good. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, there we go. Oh, I think we got it. I think we got it. Oh, thank God. Pretty sure if there's any in here, it's gonna be rock crab. Ooh. Oh, look at that. There's one on the bottom. There he goes. Well, look at that. That's a first for me. A starfish. I think what happened is this one got plopped on top of a rock. So I don't know if you could see it on the camera, but there was a crab holding onto the bottom. So which that means wasn't sitting flat on the ocean floor like on a sandy bottom. That means it was probably on some kind of rock and it was tilted up against it. So there's a little starfish. Never caught a starfish before. All right, toss it back. This is a fun little adventure. It's like winning without catching anything. I got it, guys. I got my crab pot out. Well, I definitely won't be dropping in this area anymore. Now that I know there's some rocks here, definitely don't want to drop your pots near rocks. One, you're not going to catch any Dungeness. Like, I'd be shocked if there is any Dungeness in here. But two, you can lose your trap. It'd be interesting to see if there's anything in here. Oh, there is a little rock crab in there. Oh, well, that's kind of like winning without catching anything now that I got my trap back. So what I did for anyone who might have this problem in the future, hopefully you don't, but what I did, not saying this is going to work for everyone, but what worked for me is I just grabbed the buoy and then kind of did a circle around the pot. And what my idea was is that I'm going to create that angle from the rope down to the like from the buoy down to the pot, rather than pulling straight up and down, get that angle to hopefully untangle that rope from whatever rock it was under. Anyways, I'll show you what's in here. There's a little rock crab there. I could keep this one, but I'll let it go. I'm just happy to get my pot back. And then also my second ever starfish. Definitely don't want to be catching starfish because that's when you know you're near rocks. So anyways, fun little exploratory mission today. I do think that there's good rock fishing here. I think if I really worked at it, I could definitely get into some good rockfish around here. But just a quick day out here today. I mean, I did get a few. Nice little cabezon, a few different species of rockfish on the new SaltNative baits. So if you're interested in catching, if you're interested in buying any of these SaltNative baits or anything else from Carl's Bait and Tackle, make sure you check them out. Leave a link in the description. If you don't know what to buy, or if you're looking for a gift for someone, the subscription boxes are a really good idea. They are a monthly subscription. Each month you'll get a box. You can choose the theme that you're doing. So if you're a largemouth bass fisherman, you probably won't be watching my channel, but if you're interested in that, they have that kind of box. A lot of people on this channel will probably be interested in the inshore saltwater box, which is the one that I get. And actually a few of the SaltNative baits are coming in those boxes now. So if you're interested in that, check the link below. Use my code DIEHARD, DIEHARD, and you'll get your first box for just $10. So anyways, thank you again to Mystery Tackle Box for sponsoring this video, and we'll see you on the next one. Oh, and I almost forgot, make sure you check out More Than Fishing and Ish with Fish. Both of them were out here with me today grinding it out. But June just caught his first fish. Dude, that's good bait. That's good bait, right? Yeah, put it on. You know, they don't get to fish as much as I do, and I have all of you guys to thank for that, and a lot of other people, including them. They helped me grow my channel, and my wife for supporting me back home. But you know, so many people to thank, not enough time now. But main point is, make sure you check them both out if you haven't done so already. Issue Fish, More Than Fishing, both of them have a kayak now. So if you're interested in kayak fishing, they both have kayak videos on their channel, and I'm sure they'll be shooting a lot more. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. Have a good one. We'll see you on the next one.